Yeah, I mean, I think if you just think about the way that the world is developing these days, like with AI and everything, and just like the automation of buying pretty much everything these days, it becomes like, and everyone knows there's like a lack of that real human connection. So even like on a Zoom call and on like a video call, there seems to be a deeper level of connection, just talking to someone face to face versus like messaging them or texting them. But really being in person and being able to meet that person and experience like the encounter in real life, it makes a big difference, you know what I mean? And I think that in-person connection and in-person meetups are going to be like really, really big next year, especially. So that's something that I want to start doing, me and Pablo. Pablo and I want to start hosting our own events, our own masterminds, quarterly or whatever have you, and bringing, all these talented individuals that have been successful in business, that have, done what the fuck most men want to do, whether it's build an amazing body, right? Or build a successful business, or even just be a solid family man and learn from, someone like that. Me and Pablo and I have been talking a lot about having events where it's more of, instead of a like kind of like a conference, right? More of like a meetup where it's a bunch of guys hanging out where we're all like-minded, and we can have those heavy hitters come through, but hang out with us, right? Give us, their time, and we can give them our time, and just have that, positive exchange of value. So that's something that me and Pablo and I are going to be doing in the next year or so. And I'm excited for that. But yeah, human connection is everything. Like, especially with AI, especially with the automation, especially with everything that's just like happening with the world, there's going to be this longing, this deeper longing, even deeper longing for human connection. Just remember that. It's not going to go away. It's not like it's going to be obsolete. It's the desire is going to grow. The desire for it. I would say heavily the past like 2 years, I've been really one-track minded on my own. I didn't really have help from anybody in either of my businesses. Like, I was just all alone, like figuring it out, not really asking for help, which kind of didn't help me, obviously. And it's so important now like, I've realized the importance of having a team and the importance of just collaborating with other people. And I feel like in not only just men, but in American culture, it's almost that it's almost like the family unit doesn't really exist anymore. It's like they're like the minority, right? Or it's not really like coveted anymore, the family unit. And I don't even mean like regular family. I just mean like in groups. And like, the truth is that if more men were able to get together almost like in like a tribal way, like kind of like have your own tribe, have your own people. If you just study like American history, a lot of like the biggest like, I don't know, like things like infrastructure, like industrialization of like, different things like that. Just like the American like Revolution, like all that stuff, like all these iconic and like important historic events, they all stemmed from groups of men getting together in little rooms and just discussing like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And that's where it all starts. It all starts when we as men can get together, put our fucking heads together, right? 2 + 2 = 5, and all collaborate on an idea. That's where we can all fucking grow together. Like Vince said on the podcast, it's better to have, a fourth of a watermelon than a whole grape. You know what I'm saying? And it's hurting a lot of guys. It's hurting, especially young men. It's like, look, you have to have a level of, now, when you're young, it's like that reliance on other people. Like you're like relying on other individuals to build you up, right? And kind of like, you need that people to almost carry you. Then you start to hustle on your own. You learn your own grind. You learn your own hustle. And then you start to take charge of your own life. But you can only do that for so long. Like, you can only do that in a certain manner. Hustle hard, do what the fuck you have to do always. But just remember that at the point that you feel like you're at a ceiling because you're trying to do everything on your own, it's because you're not as powerful as you could be if you were to collaborate with other people. And it's so important. I've learned that this year. Like, my team, my clothing company and my fitness coaching company, I cherish them. Like, I cherish those guys. And like you, for example, Pablo, like, you're part of my team as well. I cherish you. I cherish the people that are in my life where it's a mutually beneficial relationship. We're both on the same page and we both want similar things out of life. Those are the types of people you need to be around. And a lot of people, what they're doing is they're getting around the wrong people and they're trying to make them like they are, which you should never do that. You should never try to change somebody. It's gonna make you go crazy. It's gonna make them fucking go crazy because your guys are gonna both think there's something wrong with you when really it's just you guys just don't vibe out together. You don't vibe out together. The best business relationships for me, they've come from real friendships, groups, right? Real friendships first, and then the business, relationship later. So there's been like a few moments where me and Pablo are just sitting here and we're like, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of weird that we're just like out in Arizona. Like, he's filming me. That's his business. I'm doing, the fitness coaching, the clothing, promoting that on social media. That's my business, right? And like, people don't really know, like, me and Pablo, we met years ago, like fucking decade, like literally over a decade ago.
Well over a decade, yeah.
Probably 15 years at this point. And me and Pablo were in a band together, and like we were literally kids together. Like, we're teenagers. We rode the fucking bus home to Jordan's house for, band practice. We would literally put our fucking little bit of money we had together and go get fucking pizza or like Chinese food. Like, like Pablo worked at Weiss. He was worked at the grocery store. I worked at a warehouse. Like, we were just regular dudes, like, from Pennsylvania. And, we always talk, how, I'm sure you and your boys always will talk about like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'd love to have a business with my homie. And like, me and Pablo are actually now really doing this shit. We're traveling together, we're filming content, like, we're making money, online, building our businesses. Like, this is reality. And both Pablo and I were both looked at like we shouldn't be taken seriously by people that are supposedly should be taken seriously, like teachers, elders, people that make more money, whatever you. Like, we were not necessarily going the right way. Like, we were in music, you know what I'm saying? And that's all we cared about. But now it's just crazy how the tables turn. Like, me and Pablo, like, we're fucking tatted up. We don't work regular 9 to 5s. It's very unorthodox, but like, we've reached a level of success and fulfillment in our lives that we feel like every man should have, honestly. So it's crazy. It is surreal, like, being out here, like, cause we grew up in Pennsylvania, like, seeing the mountains and shit, like, it's still weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't, just surreal,
Just a couple Mount Bethel boys out here.
Awesome. Also, I don't endorse this brand. No, literally, I don't fuck with Prime Energy. I think Logan Paul's a cuck, bro.
Does it taste good?
Not really.
Oh, okay.